The Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, is an inspirational hour that'll take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. Get ready to be transformed from Dr. Jenn's live guided healing meditations and intuitive readings, and unveil the power of connecting to spirit, the angels, and your higher self. Dr. Jenn is passionate about helping you find the answers you're looking for through an inward journey that'll strengthen your connection to spirit and help you trust your intuition. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jenn Royster.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Dr. Jenn. I'm putting my back recording. We have to back up to the backup to the backup with technology. So welcome to the show. Good to have you here. We're going to talk about the Mercury Retrograde coming up because it's interesting, because sometimes we get so frustrated when things aren't going as planned. Mercury Retrograde gets a bad rap a lot of times. We have one about 4 times a year. And they last about 3 weeks, and this is in astrology. So what's interesting is this one is a little bit stronger, and we're going to talk about why they feel stronger in an air sign, which this one is. It's a big month leading up to all the things that are shifting and changing. There's big major shifts coming in astrology if you look at it that way, for October. So September's been giving us a little bit of a hint of that and preparing us for it. And we're also going to work with Archangel Gabriel, give you a little information about this archangel. This angel is known as the communications angel. So it's a really good angel to work with if you want to work with an angel that can help kind of give you that insight. And what do I mean by working with an angel? It's the essence, the energy of what this angel represents really is what you're looking for. And so, because Gabriel is a great angel to work with, if you are a creator, if you are in the arts, if you are on a new project, great with children, believe it or not, all the new beginnings and the fresh minds that just aren't inhibited by anything, but also for communication. And when I say communication, Gabriel helps us listen as much as we are trying to be clear with the message that we're trying to send out. There's a balance, there's a give and a take there. In order to give a clear message, we have to also listen. And if you really think about it, sometimes we're all guilty of it, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I don't like that word that much, but it's, you know, sometimes you realize you weren't really listening, but then I've been working with that a lot since I've started doing this show about 10 years ago. I really want to listen more. It's actually 11 years, by the way. We started the show in 2010. Can you believe that? So, but listening is a very important part of communications. If we're not listening to others, how do we expect them to listen to us? And when you have a message you're trying to put out there, is it clear? That's what Gabriel's good with. It's all messengers are angels, basically. They are the one and the same. They're messengers. But at the same time, this one's more specific. Mercury retrograde, what is that? Mercury, the planet, is slowed down, and on September 26th, it will start to go backwards. That's what retrograde means. And every retrograde means it's a reflective time. And this one gets a bad rap. Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap because it's a lot about, you know, sometimes there's a misunderstanding, a miscommunication. Technology seems to go on the fritz. You know, it confuses things. That's what people will remember all the time, but they don't look at the gift and what a retrograde can bring you. It's a time where a lot of times if you have a big contract you're going to sign, you don't want to do that. You want to wait till after a retrograde. And that's what we're looking at it for, because it helps you plan life. You know, it's like if you were planning to do something big and major, you may not want to make those final signatures on the dotted line during a retrograde. Things can go smoother if you use the time for reflective time, if it helps you go back and review. And this one in particular is going to help us review how we communicate. And it's a time for healing that. We're also going to talk about the throat chakra. What is that? Fifth chakra, right in your throat. That's why it's called that. But the fifth chakra is all about communications. It's listening and sending out your message. And we'll go over if you have any indications or if it's blocked and how we can clear it. So we have a really cool show lined up that's all related to this communication theme. So let me go into some of this. I want to welcome everyone that is joining us in the live chat. What we've been doing is I put out, because I've been putting some pretty hefty information out for you recently, because I just think it's so important. So I'm putting the information out, then we'll go over and take questions if you want. But I do want to welcome you. We do have the live chat open if you want to join us over on my YouTube channel. It's also embedded on my website if you go to the talk show page. All right, so here's the thing. Mercury loves air signs. It's more comfortable in an air sign because why? What's an air sign about? In astrology, an air sign is more the mind, the thinking, the mental. It's the intellect. Things like that. So if this is about communication and then how you're communicating that message, that thought, that intention, that's why it's just more comfortable in that. You feel it. And I wanted to bring this up because it's so important, because retrogrades, especially Mercury, they always just get so frustrating for people. But this one will last. It'll start September 26th. It will last till October 18. So that's about that 3-week that I was talking about, and it will be in the sign of Libra. So I'm going to go over a little bit about what this one in particular means for September of 2021. But if you listen to a lot of the message, it really will apply to any retrograde in Mercury, whether if you're listening to this 5 years from now, it will help you, because it's always about communications with Mercury. So if you have this feeling of, oh no, not one of those again, what's going on in your life that's making you feel that way? You want to look at it. Is your computer acting on the fritz? Is it, things are acting glitchy? Do you have misunderstandings a lot in your relationships? These are areas you want to pay attention to, because if there's something like that going on, or just things seem to not be what you thought, or did you actually listen? There's different things you got to look at. You might find that you'll start to hone in, and that's what the retrograde gift is. You hone in on, what part of this do I need to make improvements on? Now, when the planet is going backwards, and then you have Archangel Gabriel that we could call on and say, hey, can I have some insights? Gabriel is really good for helping us to see the bigger picture, helping us to look at this differently, taking it outside of ourselves, not taking it personally, and giving ourselves an opportunity to actually listen to what the universe is trying to tell us, to listen and have a perspective that's outside of our own personal sensitivities. You start to see the bigger picture. You start to see, wait a minute, maybe this is what's going on. Maybe I need to look at this a little more. Because Mercury is about messages and communication, it's about thought processes, we want to go within and listen to the subconscious mind. This is a good opportunity in this particular Mercury retrograde to pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams is your subconscious talking to you. It's not about anybody else. It's always going to be what you need to know about you. I don't care who's in the dream or what it is. It's not literal. You got to look at the metaphor here. Why would your subconscious pick particular people that you might know, or certain events or certain situations? It's trying to tell you a story. It's trying to tell you what you need to know in your conscious mind. So you want to pay attention to that. Now, when Mercury travels direct, which is opposite of retrograde, okay, it's better thinking. You think clearly. So you communicate, you understand what's going on around you. But when it travels retrograde, like I said, that's when you start to express and receive information. You start to reflect and look back at what you can improve. Manifesting matters here as well for everybody globally. Manifesting is a big deal here, especially on a personal level. We manifest personally, but we become part of the whole manifestation of something bigger. So where are you on that? Are you thinking beyond what? Are you thinking in a rut? Are you repeating the same questions? Are you asking the same questions over and over? Are you actually listening to the answers that have been repeated to you 100 million times? I mean, that's not pinpointing anybody. I'm just saying that's something to look at, because sometimes I find myself asking a question several times. Maybe I didn't hear it either. We all have a tendency to do that when we get busy. But when you start to look at things through the throat chakra, okay, think about it. If you're starting to think and focus on how am I communicating and am I actually listening? I mean, how many times have you asked somebody a question and then did you actually hear the answer? Were you so busy multitasking and doing too many things that you didn't even listen? You might find that this will be highlighted more and it will show you where you could make improvements. This is respect for one another, and we don't understand why nobody's listening to us sometimes. And if we want to work in a clear communication, that's what this retrograde can help us understand. You might have felt called to do so many things this year. You may have looked at many different approaches to what you want to do next. That's what this year's been about. It's been a year of major change. Remember, it's a number 5 year. So that's a number that is big on change. The whole year's been that. This particular month, and this is the 9th of the 9th month. This is like one of those 9/9 final energies. We're ending a cycle. We're ending a cycle to begin a new one. That's what's coming up next. That's why September is such a pivotal month with energy to show us okay, let's finalize, let's wrap this up. We're ready to move forward into a new cycle, a new one. That's what's coming. And don't be looking at that like, oh no, what's going to happen in October? Okay, that's not what I'm saying at all. You can look at it that way, but I'm pretty much a glass half full person anyway. We got plenty of the glass half empty, but there is another option out there in the universe. Give it a chance. Give it a chance. Give the positive energy a chance to show you opportunities and a different perspective to life. Because what we focus on, remember, is the reality we live. If you always focus on everything that could go wrong, that's all you'll see. If you focus on all the things and the opportunities that are popping up, you'll focus there and you'll put your energy into something, and the universe helps bring that through. You have the opportunities pop up and then you take action. So this is good. Now, what's Libra all about? Okay, this is an air sign that this retrograde will be in. Libra is all about partnership and how we relate and interact with people. Yeah, okay, see? There's your double whammy right there. So if Libra's about partnership and relationships and how we relate to one another and the people around us, and now we're in a retrograde that's about communications, this is going to be bringing your attention to what needs improvement. It'll be different for everyone. Many things might be highlighted in this area, so don't be surprised by that. You'll have highlighted for you what you need to work on. You don't need to worry about what everybody else is doing. That's honestly, not my business. It's remember that I'm not your opinion of me, and your opinion of me is not my business. That kind of a mindset. People are going to have their opinions. People are going to have their judgments. What are you going to do? Just because they have that doesn't mean that's your identity. That's not your identity. That's not who you are. So you want to listen. You want to pay attention to how you're relating to yourself as well. Do you respect yourself? Do you listen to what nudges your intuition gives you, and you know that doesn't feel right to you, or yeah, this is the way I want to go, and there's a bunch of naysayers that are in the way or something like that. This is really going to help you fine-tune how you communicate and how you listen. This is good. So how can we become better communicators? How can we be better in our relationships? Do we need to set boundaries? Have we been too, open, letting things in we really don't want? Have we said no where we need to say no? Boundaries are part of how we develop our relationships. Sometimes you just got to say, no, that's not for me. No, that's not where I want to go with this. You have to be clear. You can't pretend to be all about something if you're not. This will fine-tune that as well. So you can use this September going into October retrograde to reflect on these questions. Think about it. Think about better ways that you could communicate. Think about how you could share your message. Are you being clear and about how you feel about things? Are you saying yes, no, where you need to say yes or no? It's a good time, like I said, to pay attention to the dreams. I really highly recommend, if you have a lot of dream activity during this time, jot them down, pay attention to them. They have a message for you. They really do. This will be coming up. Now remember, this starts on the 26th. I'm doing it early right now. It's only the 9th. But I wanted to do this show today because I wanted to give you some time to be ready for it. A lot of times you'll start to feel this coming in about a week out because it'll start to slow down. A planet has to slow its roll to go into reverse. So as it's moving forward, it has to put on the brakes and then start going backwards. So, some people that are very in tune to things like that, you might feel that. I know that sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I feel the lunar cycles a lot more, but this one usually lets me know, oh yeah, there you are. So if you want to dive deeper into dream work, if that's always been something you want to look at, during that retrograde season, at that time coming up, we might do some dream shows so we can kind of work on those dreams you might be having, so you can ask questions about that. So we don't want to do it now, we're going to do it then. So that'll be in a few weeks. So this is a deeper subconscious thing you want to do with the dreams. It's deeper, going into the subconscious, listening to what it's trying to tell you. That's coming from your soul, your higher self, trying to tell you what you need to know in this world right now in your conscious state. How you really truly feel. That's your true self trying to communicate with you. So, you can connect with that in meditation, but for a lot of people, it may pop up in dreams. Dreams are very valuable. You want to pay attention to them. And, no matter how scary or whatever they are, remember they're metaphoric. They're just trying to send a message. They're trying to send a message. And they can be a bit, over the top at times, because talk about the imagination. It just blows me away what the mind can come up with in a dream. I mean, it never surprises me, honestly. So, this is the last Mercury retrograde of the year. We won't have another one till January. So this is the last one for 2021, okay? And it's, there's other planets in retrograde too, so just know this is going to be a strong retrograde energy. So you might feel this one a little more than other ones, but remember, it's to show you what you need to help you improve things. So if something comes up that might seem challenging to you, or on the relationship thing, you don't want to be making big decisions right now on that. Just please pay attention to what it's trying to tell you and use the time to reflect on what you could do to improve on you, not what somebody else is doing. I don't care who the relationship is about, has nothing to do with them. This is going to be you working on you. That's your responsibility. So please hear that. That's important. So once we move through this one, you may find that your intuition, your own personal insight really got charged up. You might find that it's a lot more open. You might feel that you're more connected to it, which is a good thing. You want to listen to that. That is something you can trust when you can't trust anything else in this whole world, is your own intuition. And you know I'm a big believer in everybody tuning into that and trusting what your own intuition tells you. This can supercharge it. So work with this energy. Don't shy away and complain about the Mercury retrograde. Use the gift that it has. It can really fine-tune things for you. Help you see exactly where you want to go moving forward. You want to be able to make choices that you don't second guess, that you feel like was a mistake. Nothing's a mistake. You may have tried something and it didn't work, but that doesn't make it a mistake. You want to look at what you learned from it. The universe works that way too. Sometimes we think, oh, this is going to be it. And maybe we just needed to learn something. Maybe it was just a stepping stone. And we always can find something that we can fine tune to make things better. This will have you revisiting things that were prevalent to you back in June. So if you can recall June and what was going on for you in June, that'll give you a good clue on what might pop up for you. That's something to take note of. It's going to reflect to something that may have been very prevalent in June, or important in June, or what was a big thing that happened for you in June. So look at that, because that was the last Mercury we had in retrograde was back in June, but that was a strong cycle too. So you might be revisiting some of that timeline. So if you can recall back then, that would help you with what you want to look at. So we won't enter another one until January of 2022. So this is the big final Mercury retrograde for 2021. So I want you to think about that. So now, how would it work? Now let me talk about Gabriel a little bit. Gabriel is, to me, one of the best angels. I love working with Gabriel. It's a very light-hearted energy when he comes around, very much associated with copper. I love the color of copper. If you look at my set, you can see I love those orangey gold tones. I like the color copper. I just relate to that color a lot. Some people, have copper, they wear copper, or they keep copper around when they want to work with Gabriel. So Gabriel is associated with that metal. Gabriel is very, very motivating, and I always find working with Gabriel, this is the personality of how I know this angel. Very motivated, very positive mindset. They all are, but sometimes they have different personalities to me. And Gabriel always comes through with such a perspective that I never realized that. I never saw it that way, and gets me motivated, and I find myself excited to approach something that I might have been discouraged with. So I wanted you to hear that. This is how I've worked with Gabriel before. Gabriel is great and comes around a lot when I'm working with trying to get a message through. Like I asked before the show, like, please help me clearly explain this to them so they can understand. And I'm sharing the experience I've had with Gabriel. And actually about a month ago, Gabriel came through to me on a personal level, and I have that memory. I have it mounted on the wall where I paint in the art studio, because it was definitely letting me know, yeah, you're going to be painting a lot more again. And I have been working on that. So because my intuition and my spirituality and the work that I do as a spiritual coach, the show, and how I express myself in painting or art, they're all interrelated and tied together. So it's just bringing that other piece together for me. So that's a personal thing. Gabriel also is just so motivating, just encourages you. Don't stop. You might get discouraged, and that's the big part. You might get discouraged looking at things from this one perspective that you saw, and then Gabriel comes through and reminds you, why don't you look at it this way? And he'll show me these what I love is I always find something that's upside down, like a picture upside down, or a bird looking at me upside down, or just it's humorous. It's like, oh, it's upside down. And it's like, look at it differently. And then that's how he reminds me. And I see that a lot. I mean, you have a bird land on your fence and then they turn their head all the way upside down and look at you. And they're so entertaining. And we have a lot of birds in our backyard, a lot of really big ones. And they're just the cutest things ever. And they always give me this message of, you know, this upside down, like, just change your perspective. That's that message to me. When you go into these cycles, when you're looking at the throat chakra, let's talk about that a little bit, and then we'll go over to the chat and see if there's any questions. So the throat chakra, if you're not familiar with chakras, those are energy centers. I mean, a lot of people have heard of them by now if you're listening to this show, but if this is like, what is a chakra? Just quickly, a chakra is an energy, kind of like an energy transformer. It processes energy that you receive in. Energy could be thought, it could be emotion, it could be just anything from the outside world. Empaths know what I'm talking about. They really feel energy a lot. But it goes to different centers. So you have 7 main ones that run through right along the spinal column. We're talking about the throat chakra, or the 5th chakra, that's right here in the throat. This one governs and processes energy that has to do with communication, listening, and communicating. Are you communicating? So let's go over some of the symptoms if you have a blocked throat chakra. Who out there's got TMJ? Or you grind your teeth at night? Or you clench and you bite your tongue and you don't say anything when you really want to. Okay, that's a frustration of speaking up. And I'm not saying start a fight, because I usually try to find a peaceful way to do things, and not everything out there is a fight that I need to get involved in. And this is just me personally. But I'm talking about for you personally. If you're grinding your teeth a lot at night, that's a good indication there's a bit of a block in the throat chakra. Another one would be ears, nose, throat, allergies, ears, you know, you have a lot of stuff going on with that. Think about that, you know, colds, you know, just all of that. Are you constantly clearing your throat? Do you sneeze a lot? Sometimes I do, but that, believe it or not, the coughing and the sneezing in metaphysic terms is trying to clear and release energy. I know, it's trying to release the energy. So if you have symptoms like that, anything to do with that, you know, a lot of times it has something to do with science related, or something, you know, it's ears, nose, throat. Think about it, you know, your mouth, you know, just talking, you know, like, oh, you know. And then what happens if you do that? You don't say anything, so you're grinding or you're biting your tongue, you don't say anything, you don't want to get in the middle of it, but it bothers you. If you're not letting it go, then it's bothering you and you're holding that energy that you're trying not to get involved in. You're actually holding it more than you realize. So one of those things is it might really be something that you don't need to be in the middle of. How do you do that? What do you do with that? This is what I want to bring up, because there's a lot of things out there that you may or may not agree with. You may not even agree with anything I'm saying right now. That's fine. That has nothing to do with the message I'm trying to send here. I'm trying to give you options about how you can move forward with that. Because sometimes we just don't need to get in the middle of something that has nothing to do with us, but we care. Empathic people will feel it like that. You feel like, oh, I've got to take care of that. You got to take care of everything. No, you don't. We think we do. Now, why is that? That's what I'm going to call spiritual ego. Spiritual ego can get in the way of, you think that you're just being all this, and no, not really. So you have to look at this as where can I speak up and where do I need to move on? That's what this retrograde is going to help you sort out. I'm not even going to give you a definitive answer right now, because there isn't one. It's different for everybody. you have to see, okay, yeah, this is something where I need to speak up because I respect myself, and that's not right for, if it's something that you need to speak up on, it's going to come clear. And that's what you want to ask Gabriel about. That's what you want to ask the universe. You want to just ask yourself, is this something I need to get involved in, or do I just need to let it go and move on and stop being so preoccupied with energy that I can't process? It's nothing to do with me, you see? When we try to process, for example, another person's journey, like you watching something happening to somebody else, it's really bothering you because you just want to fix it. That's beautiful compassion. At the same time, sometimes there's a way to have detached compassion where you care, but you don't take it on. And this is something that happens a lot with an empathic person, because they just think, I have to do this, I have to do this. You don't. You have to learn how to take what you need to process, and you need to get out of the way of other people learning what they need to learn, or go through everybody's journey is here to learn and grow on a soul level. Everybody has these options here. So on a throat chakra level, well, how do we clear it? Okay, say we find we got something going on here. All right. Obviously, if you look at metaphysics, like say you are one that grinds your teeth and you're just biting your tongue, you're not saying anything. Is this about something you do need to speak up about? And why aren't you? That's where you're going. That's what you're working with, and this could be a process, not like overnight. I highly recommend that you could meditate, close your eyes, but when you meditate and you close your eyes to clear energy off the chakras, you want to clear all of them. The goal with chakras is for them to all be balanced and the same. Sometimes it's described as the same size. So what you don't want is one of them to be completely blown open and the rest of them closed off. That won't be a balanced life at all. So when you go to do energy work and you close your eyes and you're asking for this clearing of energy, just clear this frustration off, or clear whatever this is off. You're going to be working to do it too. It's not like an angel's just going to come in and sweep through and take care of it for you, and you didn't do anything. That's not really realistic either. You have to say, okay, I'm going to work on this, and this, you're going to help. And it's more like support. It's the support and the essence energy of this angel is going to help you do the work. You're going to go, no, this is what I want to speak up about. This is what I need to let go of. So basically, it's going to help you organize where you need to listen more, where you need to speak up more. That this whole Mercury retrograde is a throat chakra healing. If you want to, it is. It's kind of like a throat chakra healing. I know. So there's a little bit there going on. You can also use, if you like to work with crystals, you can work with crystals. You can use quartz, anything like that. You can take the salt baths. You can jump in the ocean. You can just have that intention that you want to let go of energy that no longer serves you, that's not doing you any good, it's holding you back, that kind of thing. Sometimes we just have to say, enough's enough. I'm going to move on. All right. Now let me get over to the chat. Let's see what kind of questions we have, so we have time to answer some. Oh my goodness. Hello, guys. Let me back up. I got to scroll back. So let's see. Hi, Will. Hey. Maddie. Let's see. Journey to Becoming Me. Oh my goodness. I need the love of all of you. My best friend passed away. Oh, last Friday at 44. We've been friends since I was 15. We knew everything about each other. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am very sorry to hear about your friend, but let me tell you what. I'm getting a big chill, and I know I am. I'm getting something here. Journey to Becoming Me. Your friend loves you. Your friend is going to let you know that they are okay. I feel that. You're always going to have that bond. Remember, love crosses all boundaries. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because remember, when someone passes away, they've just left the physical life. They're still there. They're still around. They're not here in this dimension. If somebody's stuck here, I don't feel that. I just feel that there's a freedom. Now, this is what I'm picking up. I'm getting a lot of chills. Okay, so obviously this one's strong. This feels like a strong energy, honestly. And a good one, though. But this one's just in your corner, you know, that still will be your friend, still will be there. And at the same time, I'm feeling this freedom. There's like a freedom for your friend. A beautiful freedom where they can grow and have an incredible experience on their journey where they're going with this. So there's a celebration that I keep feeling, that your friend wants you to celebrate that they're so free. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not even trying to ask that, but that's the message that I'm getting to give you. Let's see. Let's see. Using only a few words, I'm so heartbroken. I know she's at peace. I am trying to be happy for her, but I miss her terribly. I've been thinking of Gabriel so much. And if you want, now see, when people first cross over, this is the way I know it with the intuitive work that I do. Sometimes it can be very active right when they pass. And then it can go quiet for a few months. It's kind of like they're onboarding, they're processing, they're kind of in a healing mode. But I feel a lot of good around her spirit, like it's just breathing again. It feels good. I'm getting that that I keep getting that every time I go back to it. And I know that you miss her, but she's not really gone from you. I want you to hear that. I want you to know that. My dad, when he passed, boy, he let his presence be known, let me tell you. And he still does. He still does. And it's actually, the relationship will shift to a different type. So you're going from, instead of it being just a physical relationship, you're learning how to have a relationship above and beyond that through the different dimensions. Because like I said, there is really no death, it's just transition. So I know that you're hurting and you feel that, and absolutely you want to grieve, and I'm not saying pretend that's not there. You're going to grieve having that physical connection. I understand that. So just know that I'm really picking up a really good vibe, though, a real free, celebratory vibe. I know that may not be what you feel right now, but she's sending that out. This person's sending this out. It feels like a she. Anyway, that was very weird. I kept feel that so strong. I guess I just gave you a bunch of angel messages. All I know is there's a lot of love coming your way. There's a lot of love coming your way. A lot. Let's see here. Hello to Classic Angels and Magic. Hello to you. Connectory. Hello to you. Let me see. Delek, good morning. Late again. Oh, well, you know, we always have archives. You can go get the first part. Let's see. Sending lots of love. Okay. Everybody's sending you a lot of love, and that's what I love about this group, sending you a lot of love. And thank you so much for the support. I just saw that pop up. See, I'm still catching up on the messages here. Maddie, angels have advice for communicating with the person I care about and back in touch with. I want to heal the situation and encourage communication that allows closure, improvement in the relationship. Remember, it's a two-way street, and with retrogrades, you want to allow the retrograde time to show you and reveal to you what could be different or what you could or could not do, which was what we were talking about in the first half of the show. But right now, it would be patient and let the retrograde show you. You may find that if it heightens one side or the other, like if it heightens the challenges or shows the misalignment, then it'll give you an answer. It may show you where there's a way to improve and clear things up. But remember, if it's something that you need to let go of, it's also going to tell you that. If it's something that you need to put a little more effort into, it's going to tell you that. So as far as messages, it's about working with this retrograde coming up. It's going to be important for everybody. I think for all of us, because all of us have gone through so much change. I think that we all need to really pay attention to this one and listen to what it's trying to tell us on an individual basis. I mean, I'm going to be doing that too. see where I could improve. But that's what that's what I'm picking up. Let's see, dialect. I would like to know during this retrograde time how much I am going to be arguing. Even if I don't want to or get involved, it always happens, and I have problems with people who used to be my friend. That sounds like there's some letting go to do, because the sensitivity feels raw and it's still triggering emotional response. Does that make sense? So this is going to be a focus on letting go of things that aren't anymore, and so you can move on, because there's a focus that you need to redirect onto something else. So sometimes it's hard to let go of really big deal things. I get that, and that's the process you've been going through. Honestly, if you try to talk or you try to communicate in something and it's just not going anywhere, why do you keep... I'm not saying you're doing this, but why would you want, and this is for everybody, why would you want to keep trying the same thing over and over again if it doesn't work? See? So look at the different perspectives that will be presented to you. Open up for that. Let's see. Yeah, we have not made a mistake. We've produced a result. Exactly, Will. Yeah. There's always something. Even if it seems like, okay, I thought this was going to be great, and then we find out, okay, maybe I don't want this. There's something we learned and gained from it. We gained knowledge. We gained maybe a clarity on what we definitely don't want. I don't know. I miss you painting. Well, you know what? I know. I am painting. I know you're talking about intuitive paintings. I was trying to connect some things up. It's a little bit of a different setup. I've had to get some different equipment so I could bring that into the show. And I was trying to get it set up and surprise you guys with that. And my computer was not cooperating. So I'm still working on that. At the same time, I'm also wanting to set up maybe a kind of like a webinar, or we'll actually have like a whole group type thing where it's different from the show, and we'll just really focus on that, and I'll take you guys into the art studio, and that would be an easier way for me to do it, because it's not in the same room, and just it's a space thing. So I'm working on that. Just know that I am. And I'm going to be putting up I'm going to be redesigning a lot of different things with that. So just know it's there. Lots of irritation in my ears and eyes recently. Okay, that's us seeing things clearly, the eyes. That would be more of the 6th chakra. You might be having a 5 and 6 going on. That's a seeing. And then ears is listening. Ears is listening. So there, definitely that's pretty obvious with that. So you might be wanting to make sure you're looking at 5 and 6. 6 is your clairvoyancy. That's your third eye, your mind's eye, your insight, your intuition. Are you ignoring it? You know what you need to do, and you don't want, look at it that way. Just see if there's anything like that. And that was Maddie, by the way. Journey to Becoming Me. Ugh, so you have TMJ. Oh, okay. Actually have had the jaw manually reopened before because it locked up. Chronic sinus allergy, frequent sneezing. Isn't there a mouthwash I can just gargle with? Energy. Hey, just to be clear, there was a time when I had TMJ too, mainly when I was growing up and when I was younger, and dentists were like, wait a minute, what's going on in here? And it would just give me headaches and stuff. And just working through my chakras and working to heal and working to release a lot of things that I didn't need to be trying to process, it really helped me get rid of it. That's not the only things, but on an energy answer, that over the years has helped. And now if it even tries to come back, I stop dead in my tracks and I go, no, we're not going back that route. Now I take it as, okay, that's a sign that you're not speaking up where you need to or something like that. So that's what that one is. That's going to be an interesting retrograde for you, working through that one. Just wanting to say hi, I'm new to live chatting. Okay, well, we're glad to have you here. It's, you know, this has been a journey for all of us. We have a pretty good group that shows up pretty regular, so we're glad to have you with us. Let's see, my ears are ringing and I feel especially right ear itchy. Okay, no problem, but lately it's been. Okay, the right side of the body, okay, is the masculine energy, and it's talking about your own, like, do you stand up for yourself and are you proactive? The left side of the body is the feminine energy. That's where we nurture. That's where we have the love, the self-love, you know, the creative side. You know, there's two, everybody has male, female energy. Doesn't matter if you're right or left-handed on that part. That has nothing to do with that. That's more of the not dominant, non-dominant thing. This is masculine energy if it's right ear. So are you listening to that side of you, or is it trying to tell you something? Or, you know, look at, I'm trying to fine tune that for you to see if that makes any sense to you. Relaxing meditations. Good morning. I learned to say to myself, God, I give you my thoughts and they go away, and it helped ease the worry and preoccupation. Messages for you regarding investing. This is relaxing meditations. Wow, no. Here's the thing with that, investing. I'm not going to even go there because that is so different for everybody. I know, I'm not trying to say no to your question, but what I'm saying is, I mean, I do investments, but I do the ones that feel right to me, and I use my intuition for that. My intuition wouldn't necessarily be the right one for you, so that would be unfair, so I wouldn't want to say that to you. But what you want to do is you want to go with something that you really resonate with. You don't want to use emotions on investing. Don't do it emotionally, but do something you believe in or something you really want to support. And then with investments, depending on how volatile they are, make sure it's not something you need. Like when you put that in, you got to think of it as like, you're going to go to a restaurant, you're going to pay for a meal, you're going to eat the meal, but you're not going to get the money back. So investments can explode and be amazing, or you can go slow and safe, or you can put that money in and say, I really believe in this, I want to give it a shot, but be okay if it goes away. It's kind of like, just no, it's got to be something you can afford to lose. Honestly, I'll say that. Let's see here. So, I mean, I'm one of those more precautious ones. So I'll go slow and then I'll do some, and some of it goes up and down. But yeah, that's what I would recommend to anybody. It can't be something you throw in that you can't afford to lose. Let's see. Where are we? I lost what I see. Your friend battled chronic illness since she was a teenager. She hit medical challenges. She was exhausted, tired, in pain. Everything was a struggle. I'm so glad she's free. Okay. That's why I'm feeling that. So if she had a life of that, that was like she was in a cage in the physical world. So no wonder she feels so free. So she wants, and that's what the celebration's making sense to me. She wants you to celebrate with her that she's free. Not be sad, but she's not, I think that's actually beautiful that she came through like that for you. You are welcome. Let's see, Trisha. Hi, Trisha. Hello there. Is it possible to have a dream that felt so real? Let's see, but this dream felt like a judgment test. Strange. I had this dream, but don't understand it. But I feel like I was tested. Okay. Yeah, you can have dreams. Do not have any limits. Dreams are what there's no There's no boundaries, there's no restrictions, there's no limitations. And sometimes they will be so far-fetched and out in left field because they're trying to get your attention. So this one got your attention. This one got your attention to feel like a judgment test. What do you need to know about yourself? Are you judging? That's what I'm picking up a little bit here is, are you judging yourself hard on something? Are you hard on yourself about something? Are you not okay or letting go of something about yourself, like not forgiving yourself for something? It feels like it's a personal judgment on you. It may have come in the dream like somebody else was, but it won't be about that in a dream. It'll be about you feel like that's what you deserve. It's kind of showing you that there's something like that. That's what it feels like to me. If that resonates with you, you'll know if that clicks for you or not. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But that's what I'm picking up. Personal year, connectory. Today's 9-9 and your personal year's a 9. Any message for you? Wow. The 9 is, in numerology, the 9 is the final number, the wrapping up. So if this is a year, a personal year, and a 9, and you're a 9, the whole thing's a 9, everything's a 9. This is a time for, if your life path number's a 9, stuff like that, that's a final wrapping up. You're wrapping up a lot because you're getting ready for a brand new cycle. It's actually kind of cool to be in the 9. You've gone through all of it. You've grown. There's these areas of life that you've just achieved, and it's time to just wrap it up and close that chapter because you're ready to open a brand new book on your journey. You're getting ready to write a whole new everything. So it's kind of, to me, when you're in the 9, it's exciting. So for all of us being a 9-9 day, we're wrapping up, going into a new cycle that we'll all feel. But if you have a personal number that's a 9, this whole year, the whole everything would be feeling like you're wrapping up. You're wrapping up a lot. You're really getting ready for a new direction. So that's kind of the theme for you, obviously. And that's what I'm picking up for you. Let's see. You are welcome. Sending you blessings too. This really makes sense. I was always looking for a reason why my ear was like that. Thank you so much. So, okay. So that's resonating. Why the right side? And it could come up on any part of the right side. If it's coming up on the right side, you have little weird things. This is energy. And I'm not trying to replace medical attention if you need it for something. That's not what we're saying here. So if you need that, then you need that. But I always look at the energy. If my left foot's bothering me, I know that's something on the feminine side. If it's a joint or if it's, something like that. When I was having the TMJ, and I'll just share this, when I was having that years ago and I was having that happen, I was holding back. I just was trying not to say anything, and I was holding all that energy. It was starting to swell up in my joints, and joints getting like that can be like holding resentment or holding frustration or holding anger. Once I realized that's what was happening, I started hitting it energetically. I'm also at the same time changing my diet, shifting everything to make sure that I'm supporting an immune system. I'm clearing energy off. I'm clearing these emotions. That's what I do for my health. And honestly, since I've been doing that for the last 25, 30 years, totally different for me now. So it makes a huge difference. I mean, I don't have any of that anymore because I work on it all the time. I've been working on it for years. So you always have to start somewhere. And sometimes you feel like, oh, why isn't it going away right away? Because look how many years it's been building up. So energy clears off is a good health support, but you also have to address what's already manifested physically. So keep that in mind, which that's not what energy is about. Energy will help shift the energy so you don't keep repeating it. So when you clear energy, for example, you'll clear all this toxicity. You'll clear where you're holding all these things that are causing the cells of your body to be in this state of pain or intensity. You clear it off, but if you don't change why absorbed, then it's just going to come back and you'll reabsorb it again. So the goal is you clear it off. And sometimes we seem like we're clearing more than anything, but at the same time we're clearing, we want to work with, what can we replace that with? Maybe I need to have a new attitude about that. Maybe my belief system isn't supporting me and causing me to be upset. Things like that. So many different facets of that can affect that, because the consciousness is really through the whole body. I learned that when I was an NMT. I'm going to tell you, I felt that on so many people. It reiterated why energy work was so important when I was doing that. So that's what I'm saying. I hope, okay, everybody, yeah. This is going to be, it's been trying to figure out if I'm ignoring something and you don't know. Okay. Well, you know what, Maddie, when you say that, what's coming up right away is here's what you want to ask yourself. Is there something that I want to know, but I'm really nervous about what the answer would be? Like, can I handle the answer? Am I afraid of what the answer is? That's where you're going to want to go. That's where it's going to take some inner courage. Let your intuition and your soul show you the way. When you're working through the Mercury retrograde energy, that's going to be something that could help you fine-tune that, because it feels like you don't want to hear. It sounds like that. Sometimes we just don't want to hear what that true answer is, because we don't know if we can handle it. And I'm not sure if that's it or not, but that's what I'm feeling. So let me leave it with that. Let me see here. Anger, okay. Ugh. Yeah, we got to let go of some anger. I mean, anger doesn't do anything but hurt ourselves. I mean, anger is a natural emotion, but remember, we're not our emotions. It's something we're experiencing. Emotions pass through us. We experience them as part of the journey, but don't let them be your identity. That's not who we are. It's something we're experiencing, and we feel them, absolutely. And some of them hurt a lot. And some of them are just take us into this euphoria that's amazing. There's highs, there's lows. It's the human experience. I know. Tell me about it. But just, you're going to want to process. What I'm suggesting with it when it comes to anger is we're looking to redirect the anger into something positive, because anger is an energy. Happiness is an energy. So if you had as much happiness as you had the anger, can you imagine? Like, this anger is so intense, I would love to transform that to happiness, right? I've actually done meditations like that, and it worked. So what it did was I redirected it on something that does make me smile or does make me feel better. So I will take that energy and just redirect it into something. Believe it or not, you can come up with some of the best stuff ever from that kind of energy. Like, I'll process it in art. I bet, say, Will's an artist. I don't know if he's still here with us, but, you know, I know that he would understand what I'm saying with that. I hear it in songwriters. I hear it with all kinds of things. If you love to garden, for example, you go out and you work in your garden, and I do that too, because the earth will transmute that. But if you have that intention, like, I'm upset, but I'm going to go find something productive to do with this energy that I feel, you're redirecting that energy, and it can release, and you're giving it an outlet so it can come out, versus an aggressive attack on something. Or do you understand what I mean? It can help you process this energy and it go and redirect into something productive and positive. So that's a suggestion for you. I know that I'm afraid of some answers right now. Okay, so we kind of hit the nail on the head for you on that, Maddie. So I understand. And wow, I know what that feels like, but I also know what it feels like to finally go there and face it and be there. It was very freeing. So I'm not saying it won't be easy. I'm just saying that's what I was picking up. So I know that we have a lot going on here. I can see that. So what I want to know and throw out there, guys, is if I can get together where we can do some really deep readings, where I do pull out the paints. It won't be on the show. It's too much going on. I'll have to do it in a different way. But we could pull it out, kind of set it up like a webinar. Do you guys want to do something like that? Because I have to set up, it's quite a production to put that out there. But just let me know. I know Maddie brought it up, but I can set something up differently. If we can get enough people, I mean, it'll have to be limited, because what I want to do is, if we do that, is if we do something like that, what I want to do is keep it to where we only have but so many people in there, so we can get a good full reading. And what I do is I paint the readings, and then you'll have a copy of a painting from what we're getting on a reading for you. But I've done it in the show before. But with technology, I think we can do it better differently. So that's what we're working on. Instead of my phone being taped to the ceiling to get an overhead picture, we have installed a wall mount camera that will bring it up over, so we can get a much better shot. This is all in a completely different area where I have all the paints and where I do all that. So there you go. If you guys want to do that, make sure you're on my newsletter list, okay? Because that's where I send out, where every week I send out on Wednesdays the show information, but that's where I'll send out, okay, this is what we got. That's where I send out where we have a new product, or if we have anything like that. So I will put something together, find a good date. Oh, I hear rain hitting. And it will come out in the newsletter. Okay, so here's something else, just so you know, we may or may not do that in the middle of the retrograde, because it can get crazy with the technology. But like I said, I will put it together. Maybe we can get it in before, but let's do that. I will set it up, but make sure you're on the newsletter list. All you got to do is go over to the to the website. Usually there's something that'll pop up. If you're not on it and you can't figure out how to get on it, all you got to do is even just get one of the free courses will put you on the newsletter. So just get onto the newsletter, then you'll get the information about the webinar. And I will remind in here, but that's why you'll have what you need to get signed up and registered for it. So it'll be kind of like a webinar, it'll be live, and we'll just do the whole thing that way, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to go because there's a storm brewing out there. So I'm going to get off here before we have crazy stuff going on. We have had some wild storms down here, let me tell you. So I just want everyone to know that I'm with you. I'm here for you. I want to support you, and I'm looking for ways to do that. Okay, really want to be there for you guys. Hang in there. It's going to be an interesting month, but it's also going to be a good month where we can learn and grow and move out of some of this that we've been stuck in. It's been a changing year. It's been big. Thanks so much, guys, for listening. I will see you next time on the Jenn Royster Show. Namaste.
You've been listening to the Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. If you've missed any part of this show or any